because they all said that this is the missing key to success. It's the missing key to opening up the windows of heaven so that blessings pour into your life in ways that you can't even imagine. And that secret, everyone, that secret, the secret to all living, the secret to living, the secret to success, the one most important ingredient, and there are a lot of important ingredients, but there's one that is the most significant important ingredient, which makes everything else work easier and faster, and that is giving. Giving. Do you realize that the wealthiest people on the planet give a higher percentage of their income and net worth than people that are average income earners? A higher percentage, not just a higher amount, a higher percentage of their income and net worth. And you will say, well, they can afford it. But what you don't know is that they started their giving when they were broke, when they were first starting off. That is what you don't understand. You think that when they started making money, that's when they started giving. No, they started giving the first time they ever made any income. John D. Rockefeller, the richest man on the planet, probably the richest man of all time, in today's dollars worth almost $1 trillion. And back then it wasn't just in stock, it was in mostly cash. So I don't think you can compare his wealth to anybody else. Even today, Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos, most of their wealth is in stock, which you can't really trade, because if they tried to convert that stock to cash, then their wealth would be cut in half because the stock would crash. But John D. Rockefeller, arguably the richest man of all time, said that when he got a job, and I believe it was selling newspapers, and he made $1.50, his first paycheck, his first income, he made $1.50 for the week. He gave 30% of that away. 30%. And he said the reason is he's a Baptist. He's not Jewish, he's a Baptist. But as a Baptist, he read the Bible and believed in giving charity. And in the Christian and Jewish Bibles, whether it's the Old Testament, the first 5 books, the Torah, the Pentateuch, the books of Moses, the first 5 books, whether it's the prophets, whether it's the New Testament, the Gospels, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, whether it's the epistles, the letters that Paul wrote. In all of those writings, and giving falls into a couple categories. Primarily, in the Christian Bible, it falls into 2 categories. One is giving a tithe, or 10%. And this came about when God said, look, there's going to be one tribe of the Hebrews, Levi, the Levites. They will be the priests, which means they're not going to earn an income. They're going to be in charge of promoting God. They're going to manage the temple. They're going to do the rituals. They're going to do the ritualistic prayers. They're going to make sure that the people are aware of my commandments and my rules and my regulations, and to help people live a better life. They will do the sacrifices. They will basically do all of the spiritual work for all of the Jews. But they're not going to earn an income. So therefore, God says, everybody else, you have to pay a tax. You have to take 10% of everything you earn, 10% of your crops, 10% of your livestock. If you have 10 brand new calves that are born this year, 10%, which is one has to be given to the Levites. You have to give it to God. And the Levites will then use it for either sacrifice or for their own subsistence. This was the rule. It was called a tithe, giving 10%. The Mormons follow the tithing rule. Seventh-day Adventists are very particular on that as well. And other Christian groups. And when John D. Rockefeller was growing up, he was taught you must give a tithe. And in the Bible, it then talks about offerings. Sometimes the word alms, A-L-M-S, is also used. It's usually tithes and translated into English offerings. Tithes, which is the 10%, and offerings, which is anything over and above. And in the Christian Bible and in the Old and New Testament and all the other books, it talks about giving to charity, giving to the poor, giving to the needy, giving to the underprivileged. It's giving. It's all about giving.